welcome to Roving Rogue Productions' production of Placebo, a play written by local writer Katy Borland. Before we begin, we'd like to mention a few thank yous. We are working in conjunction with the Massillon Public Library, and our program today is in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month. Some other thank yous that we have are Dr. Keefe Dentistry, Johnny's Music, the Tuscarawas Philharmonic, Atkinson Feucht Hare Funeral Home, Mazzocca's Flowers, and J. David with Massillon Magazine TV and Massillon Live. We will begin.
Roses are red, violets are blue. There's no perfect color to symbolize you. Your hair is flaxen and your eyes are green. The blush in your cheeks is a peachy cream. Your smile is bright white like a fresh fallen snow. The tip of your nose has a luminous glow. No matter what colors the others may see, you are my dear sister, and you're perfect to me.
Lights up on a bustling office setting. Employees at desks, some walking purposefully. Kat enters, file in one hand and coffee in the other.
Miss Sommerfeld, your 2 o'clock is here to see you.
Perfect timing, send them in right away.
Kat makes her way to her office and sits down at her desk, shuffling some papers. Her desk has mostly work-related items, but there is one picture framed with her and her sister as kids. A young man enters, professionally dressed, a file in one hand. He appears nervous. Kat stands as he enters and reaches to shake his hand across her desk.
Hello, Mr. Brady. I believe I read as such on your resume. My name is Katherine Sommerfeld. I am the Human Resources Director for this branch of Mavis Pharmaceuticals.
Yes, William Brady. Thank you, Mrs. Sommerfeld.
Correction, just Miss.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
No apology needed. Since this is undoubtedly one of your first ever real-world interviews, I won't fault you. But next time, it's best not to assume.
Yes, Miss Sommerfeld.
Of course. So, as you may have read per the job listing, this is for a 6-month internship in our drug testing division. You will be working in data analysis. If selected, you will be provided a $1,500 monthly housing stipend and $500 monthly food budget. It may not seem like much, but our internships provide far more compensation than other similar programs throughout the country, and the experience you gain here will be priceless.
To be honest, Miss Sommerfeld, that seems quite generous.
Have you been to New York City before?
No, actually, this is my first time here. I'm staying for a few days, so needless to say, I kind of don't know my way around here at all.
You're going to find that this town is at once one of the most exciting places on earth and one of the most brutal. Cost of living here is outrageous, and if you're not too careful, you might blow all of your money in the first month. But if you get in with the right people, they'll give you all the tips and tricks to surviving here.
Kat holds her hand out for William's resume, which he nervously shoves into her hand.
So then, William, how would you summarize yourself in 100 words or less?
Well, I am a graduate of Caltech. I grew up in Southern California. My family's full of engineers and computer programmers. I graduated top 10 in my high school and went on to graduate top 10 in my college class as well. I majored in med science with a minor in biology and graduated magna cum laude. I like to play piano in my spare time, and I have a pet fish named Hank.
Interesting. So what kind of fish is Hank?
Oh, well, Hank is a Trichogaster lauleus, which is to say a dwarf gourami.
Sounds exotic.
Oh, it is indeed. They're from southern Asia.
How would you compare the tasks it requires for fish rearing to the tasks you may undertake as part of this internship?
Oh, that's a tough question.
At that moment, Kat's cell phone rings.
I thought I turned my ringer down, but apparently not. Bear with me a moment.
Kat reaches into her desk drawer and goes to turn off the ringer, but hesitates.
Excuse me, William, but I need to take this.
She quickly rushes out of her room and to an empty conference room just beyond her office. She hurriedly flips open the phone.
Hello? Claire?
Hey there, kitty cat. What are you up to?
Claire, I'm at work. It's 2:20 in the afternoon on a Wednesday. You know I'm working. Why are you calling now?
Damn, Kat, you could have let it go to voicemail. But since I have you, it was going to be a surprise, but I know how you hate people dropping in unannounced. I'm flying to New York this weekend, and I want to see you.
Wow. Yeah, sure. I can find some time, maybe Saturday.
Come on, I know it's short notice, but you mean you can't spare me a whole day, little sis?
Yes. Of course I can spare a whole day. When are you flying in?
I'll be in tomorrow night, catching a late flight.
Do you have a place to stay? Do you need a ride? I haven't cleaned in a while.
Quit panicking, baby sis. Yes, I'm staying with a friend tomorrow and Friday. I'd only need to crash at your place on Saturday.
Okay. It's a bit out of my way, but I can pick you up from the airport if you need me to.
Kat, it's called Uber. I've got it handled. Listen, I'm being a pain enough dropping in on you last minute like this. But hey, I haven't seen you in 6 months, and I had a break in my schedule, so I thought, why not?
Okay. When do you think you'll be by?
How about 9 a.m. on Saturday? Be sure to text me your address before then.
Yeah, sure thing. Well, I'd love to chat more, but I have an interviewee in my office.
Damn, why didn't you tell me?
I saw your number and I got worried.
Kat, I'm fine. I've been taking care of myself for years.
I know, but...
Kat, go back to work.
Right. Yes. Okay, I'll text you my address and see you Saturday then, I guess.
You got it. Love you.
Love you too, Claire.
Kat looks embarrassed for a moment, then remembers she has an interview and rushes back to her office. As she enters...
William, apologies. I had to take that call.
Oh, of course, Miss Summerfeld. I'm fine. You weren't gone that long.
Right. Now, where were we?
Lights cut to black. A cafe with outdoor seating. The tables are mostly filled. Kat sits with her longtime friend, Ben. Ben is drinking a beer, and Kat has a glass of wine.
So then I said, Dante neglected to mention that special rung of hell dedicated to people who heat up their leftover fish in the shared break room microwave.
You did not say that.
Oh, I certainly did.
Did he say anything back?
Actually, no. He stood there shaking with what I assume was anger or embarrassment or some combination of the two, and then rushed out of the break room.
You're such a devil. I hope he's not the vindictive type. You know, the type that tattles to people like me for everything. I'd watch my back if I were you.
Come on, he knew I was right. I was merely stating what everyone else in the room was thinking. Even the girl from customer service nodded in solidarity. You could say that I'm the voice of reason around here.
New girl in customer service, huh?
I mean, I think she's been there for a month or so now. Rachel or something.
Rachel. Or something.
Jeez, Kat. You acting as a professional partner police for me, huh? Not interested. Besides, I'm too focused on work right now. Mom.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Just teasing, Benny. How is your mom, anyway? You've been quiet about her lately.
Well, I mean, not much else is new with her. She's still with it 75% of the time. I've been going over there about twice a week now. She seems able to take care of a lot of the household things on her own still. I help her with the laundry and meal prepping, make sure she's still remembered to bathe. And I don't want to overwhelm her or freak her out by making her think there's something majorly wrong with her. Our family's never been the hang out multiple days a week kind. Heck, really more than once a month for the past few years since Dad passed.
On the bright side, Ben, that's more than a lot of families I know. I'm glad you're the kind of son that's actually willing to help take care of her. So many people would not be as selfless as that.
Selfless? Is that really being called selfless, though? For so many years, we took our time as a family for granted, and now that she's dealing with this disease, that suddenly gives me a reason to see her more. I'm not sure if you can call that being selfless, if I'm only doing it because she's more vulnerable.
Look, I get it. I do. Look at Claire and me. When our parents died, we took care of each other for a few years. Then when we got old enough, we split off in different directions. I mean, regardless of how you may have treated her in the past when she was a fully functioning human, now that she needs you, you're stepping up and you're being there for her.
I suppose you're right. It's not as difficult now. I mean, we all know the worst is still to come. But we're not there yet, and advancements in medicine could make that a long way off.
You're right about that. I'm not privy to the extent of the drug trials within our company, but I've heard a few things through the grapevine about some possible breakthroughs in dementia treatment.
But you know how that goes, Kat. A drug in the trial stages could take years to become available to the public, and those trials can unveil some scary shit.
Yes, but those trials are also necessary for the potential betterment of all. I mean, easy enough to say, I guess. There's this new trial, about to start in a couple of months, for a drug that actually has the capability to change long-term memories. I'm talking potentially remove someone or something from your memory completely. Can you even imagine? I don't know how anyone could participate in a trial like that.
I don't know either. What would the purpose of a drug like that be? I mean, why would anyone want to take that, let alone be a guinea pig in a trial for something like that?
You don't even know the half of it. All the kinds of drugs that are being tested right now.
Like I said, scary shit. Speaking of drugs, how's Claire doing?
Oh, living that artist life out in California, I guess. We don't talk often, you know. I mean, not as much as I'd like. But I get it. We're living two completely different lives with different priorities. Anyway, she called earlier today, and she said she's flying in this weekend. We're setting aside all of Saturday to hang out and catch up.
Oh, that sounds fun. Last time you saw her was, what, 6-ish months ago?
Just about. Yeah. It'll be nice to see her again.
You have any idea what you guys are going to do while she's here?
No clue, actually. We're not good at sticking with plans anyway. I suppose we'll just go where the flow of the city takes us.
Yeah, that could get dangerous.
Not if I have any say in what we do. If you asked me at the age of 12 what I thought my life would be like as an adult, I would have said that I'd probably be working as a writer, living with Claire in some rainy coastal town, and she'd be a professional artist, selling her paintings in a little art studio on a pier. I'd read my poems at open mic nights in some expensive coffee shop, and sell my first manuscript by the age of 20. 12-year-olds have no real-world perspective. They don't know what being an adult is really like. I'll be a slave to my student loans for the rest of my goddamn life.
One more round, kitty cat.
You know, I barely even let Claire get away with calling me that.
No, sorry.
I actually better get back to the apartment and start cleaning up. It'll probably take me these next 2 days to get things acceptable enough for another human.
Sounds scary.
You have no idea.
Need any help?
No, I've got it. But I do appreciate the offer.
Suit yourself. But I am a phone call away if you need me. Hey, I got the tab tonight if you want to head on home.
Thank you, Ben. I'm glad I have you in this crazy city to help keep me grounded.
Of course. That's my other job, you know. Professional tether.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sure thing, Kat.
Lights out. Kat's apartment. Music is playing in the background. Kat is running around in sweatpants and a t-shirt with a Swiffer in one hand.
Where did I put that box of mop cloths for this damn thing?
She opens a cupboard and a box of items falls on her with a couple of loud thuds. She is surprised for a moment, then growls, throwing the Swiffer from her clutches and beginning to pick up the stuff that fell on the floor. There is a knock at the door.
Shoot. Hold on, I'm coming.
She sets an item in the box and runs to pause for music. Another knock on the door.
Almost there. Hang on one more second.
She rushes to the door and opens it up barely. Upon recognizing the face at her door, she opens it wide.
Oh, Mrs. Dietz, is there something I can help you with?
Oh, how many times do I have to tell you, dear? Call me Nora. I heard a loud crash over here. You all right?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just cleaning.
Oh, if that's what you want to call this.
Nora pushes herself into the room, obviously uninvited.
I've been working late hours recently and just haven't had time to, keep up with it.
Nora picks up a Hot Pocket wrapper.
Oh, I see. You do have a trash can, don't you? You know, it's not good to keep things like this laying around here. You know, if we get another ant infestation, this whole building will have no person to blame other than you, dear.
Yes, I own a trash can. But thank you, Mrs. Nora. Thank you for your concern. I'll try not to cause any infestations.
Nora notices the Swiffer mop handle. She picks it up and looks at the flat end without a mop cloth with a confused expression.
Is this what you're cleaning with?
Well, I'm trying to. I'm just having a hard time finding my mop cloths.
Mop cloths?
Yes, Nora. Mop cloths. Disposable mop cloths. You attach them to this flat part here, see, and just throw them out when you're done.
Oh, mine seems rather wasteful. You know, the best way to clean is with your standard mop. Oh, I like to use borax powder. No, it's like this. 1 gallon water, 1/4 a cup of borax, 1/2 a cup of distilled vinegar. Oh, never mop yourself into a corner, dear. You might be camped out there for an hour doing nothing to do but stare at the ceiling. But you know, then you just wring out the mop, you dump the bucket outside, and you're done. Creates much less waste that way.
Yes. Well, it may create less physical waste. What about all that chemical water runoff? Did you ever consider that?
No need to get snippy, Missy. Now, this started out with me checking on your well-being, don't you forget?
And I do appreciate that, Mrs. Deeds. But I'm doing just fine.
All right. All right. Well, you know, I can tell when I'm not wanted. I'll just go then.
I didn't mean... I wasn't trying... How about tomorrow night? Once I've sorted all this cleaning business, we can play a game of rummy. Or 2.
Yes. Now, that sounds quite fun. You know what? Are you sure? You had better bring that A game, Missy, or you'll end up like last time. Now, are you sure you don't want to come over, like, later tonight?
Although that offer sounds tempting, it's already late, Mrs. Deeds, and I have to be up early for work, so actually I better get back to this cleaning.
Yeah, I know, Miss Big City Corporate Hotshot.
Not quite, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Well, all right then, Catherine, I'll see you tomorrow night. Oh, and one more thing, dear. Please call me Nora.
It's a plan. Nora.
Nora smiles and exits completely. Kat closes the door behind her, leaning against it with a big sigh, staring at the mess in her apartment. She pushes herself off the floor with a huff.
Now where are those damn mop cloths?
Lights out. Kat's bedroom. She is wearing pajamas, just getting ready to get into bed. Kat's cell rings. She jumps, startles, and sees that it's Claire calling.
Claire? Is everything all right?
Muffled noises can be heard, some talking and laughing.
Claire?
More muffled noises as it becomes apparent that this was an accidental phone call. Kat pulls the phone away from her ear.
She seriously butt-dialed me?
Hold on, my phone called someone. Oh, shit. Kat?
Hey, Claire? Sounds like you're having fun.
Yeah, it's actually a work event.
On a Wednesday night? You Californians live on the edge.
Your sarcasm is drifting again.
Well, when you catch me at bedtime, you never know what I might say.
Oh, geez, sorry, Kat. It's, what, 11:30 there? Oh, I'm horrible at time zones. You're up a little later than usual, baby sis.
Yeah, well, I just got done cleaning the apartment for a certain West Coast visitor.
Oh, exciting. Who is he? Or she?
Oh, stop. Don't you have your work event to get back to?
I stepped away, no big deal. Hey, I was going to surprise you, but oh, what the hell. Remember that time you, me, and Mom and Dad went to that lake upstate? We were pretty young. I think you were maybe 7.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Oh, come on. Dad rented a boat and a tube, and we spent the whole day out on the lake tubing and getting sunburned. And Mom brought marshmallows for s'mores, and they all melted into one giant mass because she left them in the window of the Winnebago.
Oh my God, the Winnebago.
Right? I swear, every trip we took, it seemed like it was on its last leg, but it kept going.
Oh, yeah, okay. I think I'm remembering now. Was that the same trip where Dad was fishing and somehow got the fishing hook stuck in his left ass cheek?
Holy shit, it was!
And Mom forced him to get a tetanus shot, but he refused to end vacation early to do it.
Oh no, and on the last day, he sat on the keys accidentally and made that face. You know which one I mean.
Oh my God. I haven't thought about that in years.
I figured. I only thought about it because as I was cleaning through some old boxes and found a picture, Mom and Dad shoulder to shoulder, leaning against the Winnebago, and you and me on our knees with big cheesy grins. It's a little yellowed, but not terrible. I wanted to bring it to you.
That's sweet of you, Claire. I'd like that very much.
Sure thing, kitty cat.
I'll let that go this time.
Well, I'm gonna let you go since it's so late there. I'll be seeing you soon enough anyway.
Yes, very soon indeed. Good night, Claire.
Good night, cat.
Kat hangs up the phone and smiles to herself. She crawls into bed, lights out.
Two shadows pass on a crisp spring day, each on a quest to find their own way. The chill in the air is a driving force, as the shadows continue on their preordained course. A flicker of curiosity, one chances a glance at the other who treads forth as if in a trance. Alas, he continues once again on the way, in the hopes that they'll pass again someday.
Lights up on the living room. We see an older lady, Ben's mother. A doorbell rings.
Coming, Benny.
Ah, you're looking lovely this evening, as always.
Oh, such a flatterer.
Oh, but it's true. I picked up some things for you at the store, like you asked.
What did I ask?
Ma, you asked me to pick up some groceries, eggs, lunch meat, your menthol lights.
Oh, right. Thank you, honey.
Maybe you ought to think about laying off those things.
Maybe you should mind your business. They haven't killed me yet.
Ben watches as she takes a big drag and absent-mindedly blows it in his direction. Ben waves it off and moves away from the smoke.
You have dinner for tonight.
I have some things.
Mom, these leftovers have been in here since last week. You can't eat this.
No, I made that a couple nights ago. What are you talking about?
A couple of nights ago isn't over a week ago, Mom. There's little green spots on it.
Benny, why are you joking with your mother like that? Hand it to me. Let me see it.
Now listen, just throw that out and I'll make you something, okay? I can go grab some cod or something from the meat market.
I don't know why you're getting on my case today. You're treating me like I can't do these things myself.
Mom, I'm really not, I promise. I'm just trying to look out for you. I'm offering to do something nice for
I'm
you.
not helpless, Benny. I don't need you to cook for me. I'm your mother, for God's sakes.
Oh, I got you something else while I was out today. It's a crossword book. You like those, right?
I love word puzzles. You know, I've done the crossword in the Sunday paper every week for the last 40 years.
That's a lot of crosswords. Should be no surprises by now.
Those crossword creator people like to recycle certain words pretty often, usually the smaller words. When you have a small space to fill, I suppose it's easy to use the same words like era and ode. Oh, and ado. They're always using that one. Do you have a pen, Benny dear?
Oh, a pen? Oh, look at you being all brave. I'll be back with the cod, Mom.
She is concentrating on the book and waves him off with her other cigarette-clad hand. Ben gives her a small, sad smile and grabs his keys to exit. Lights out. Inside Nora's apartment, she has a retro table and a chair set. On the table is a box of playing cards and a notepad. A radio is sitting on the counter nearby, playing some program at a low lull. There is a tray of snacks next to it. Nora can be seen dusting something in the corner. There is a knock on the door.
Coming!
Nora stows the She shuffles to the door and opens it. Kat is at the door. She has a forced smile.
Hello, Mrs. Sorry. Nora.
Here, come sit there. Now, would you like something to drink? I've got your classic water. Some fruit punch. Oh, and some cherry limeade.
Cherry limeade, thank you.
Oh, I forgot to ask. Did you want ice?
Oh, no, thank you.
Well, you're the quiet one today. More so than usual.
I am? Well, I don't mean anything by it, really. It's just a weird day.
Oh, my. Well, do you want to talk about it?
Not particularly.
A moment of silence passes as Nora reaches for the box of cards and starts to shuffle.
I shouldn't even complain, really. My little problems of the day are nothing compared to some people's.
Well, sure. But these are your experiences, not anyone else's. You're allowed to feel how you feel.
I appreciate that.
Of course.
I don't think I've ever asked you too much about yourself. I mean, we've had conversations.
Oh, if I knew I made you. I don't blame you, dear.
I'm sorry. Aren't you... What did you say?
Oh, I try not to let my Yiddish slip out too much around the goyim. Oh, that is to say, you non-Jewish folk. What I said was basically, busy young lady. Oh, not intended as an insult.
None taken. Now that I know it wasn't an insult. I find language interesting, actually. It was my minor in college, although I stuck with the romantic languages.
A romantic language. Yiddish is not. Sometimes it's downright silly. It's fakakta. Here, you try it.
Fakakta.
Well, that won't do. Not enough chutzpah. Put your gut into it. Fakakta.
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 Seriously, though, Nora. I'm so wrapped up in my own life all the time.
Only took you 2.5 years to get there.
Baby steps? I'd be pretty stuck in my own head.
How you learn? Probably too late in life. The being stuck in your head doesn't do good to anyone or anything, especially your well-being. It's easier said than done, I know. I used to be like you in my entire...
You're probably right. I've been a little more stuck in my head this week than usual because my sister's flying in tonight and I'll be hanging out with her all day tomorrow.
Oh, that's wonderful! I feel like you've mentioned her before.
She means the world to me. I've just been a little on edge about seeing her this time for some reason.
Oh, I'm sure it's nothing, dear.
I know. I need to just take a deep breath, get out of my head.
Yeah. Here, now let's forget the game for a moment. I want to show you something.
Okay.
Nora gets up and disappears off stage for a few moments. Kat looks around at things in Nora's kitchen. Nora shuffles back in with a large photo album with a floral fabric cover. Nora sets it on the table.
These are some photos from when I was younger. Well, go on, open it.
Kat looks from Nora to the album and slowly opens the cover. As Kat is looking, Nora moves behind her shoulder.
That's me at my bat mitzvah.
That's a beautiful dress.
Oh, there used to be a dress shop down the street from where I grew up over in Queens. My mother had it made special for me. Oh, I remember opening it the day before my party and I cried tears of joy.
It's a lovely memory.
My mother was and is the kindest and most selfless person I've ever known. I heard you mention your mother, dear.
She died several years ago, actually. When my sister and I were younger, her and my father died in a car wreck.
Oh, my. Oh, sorry to hear that.
It's okay. I made peace with it a long time ago, as much as I could, anyway. She was also kind, from what I can remember. She used to sing me to sleep, even as I got older. When she passed, Claire took over everything, trying to sing me to sleep.
That's a very sweet memory. Oh, your sister sounds like a kind soul as well.
Well, she used to be, sure. I'm sure she still is in her own way. She's a bit of a wild child.
I was an only child. Wish I had a sibling. I had to be my own good girl and the wild child wrapped into one.
Nora, I'm sorry for being cold.
I know. I know. Well, I'm the cookie lady down the hall. Don't you worry. I'm glad that you will entertain my kookiness sometimes. And play cards.
Right.
Cat, dear, are you okay?
I just got the worst feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Oh, I hope it's not that cherry limeade giving you troubles.
No.
Kat looks at the radio, which has been playing softly in the background the whole evening. The music has switched over to what sounds like a news bulletin.
Nora, turn that up, please.
Again, if you're just joining us, breaking news out of West Virginia. A Federal Airlines commercial jet has crashed in an open field right outside of Morgantown, West Virginia. Witnesses say the aircraft took a sudden nosedive before crash landing in a large open pasture field. No other details are available as of yet. We will provide more details as they become available.
What was the flight path?
What did you say?
The flight path. Where was that plane heading? I don't even know what airline Claire was traveling this time. I didn't ask her.
Oh, now just breathe, dear. It's going to be okay.
New details on the plane crash in West Virginia. The aircraft was a Federal Airlines Airbus A330 that took off from San Diego International Airport earlier this afternoon and was headed for New York LaGuardia.
Oh, God.
Kat is scrolling through her phone, confirming the worst.
Oh, my God.
Kat drops her phone, eyes wide with silent horror as she begins to shake uncontrollably. She starts to cry and collapses to her hands and knees on the floor.
Oh, no. Oh, my sweet girl.
Nora kneels down beside Kat and goes to lay a hand on her shoulder. Kat suddenly turns and collapses into Nora's arms, crying. Nora cradles her and caresses her hair. Nora looks up in despair. Lights out.
A little bird fell from a nest one day. It lay in the grass and it started to pray. It prayed that its mother would soothe its fright. It prayed that its father would come home to take flight. It prayed and it wept, and it hid and it slept, until its grim fate it did accept.
Dim lights up on Kat's apartment. It is eerily silent, except for the sound of a ticking clock somewhere. There is the sound of rattling keys at the door. Kat pushes open the door, a suitcase in one hand and a carry-on in the other. She walks in and sets her bags down, then turns on the light. She stands staring into her apartment for a few moments before pushing the door shut. She picks up her bags and disappears off stage for a few moments. Then she reappears. She again stares off into space for a moment before starting to tear up. She composes herself quickly and walks into her kitchen. She grabs a glass and sets it down on the counter. She reaches up into a high cabinet and pulls out a bottle of whiskey. She stares at it a few moments before opening it and pouring one-third of a glass. She puts the cap back on and reshelves it. She picks up the glass and walks out into the light of her apartment entrance, swirling the glass as she walks. She looks at the glass for a few moments before chugging the entire glass. She immediately begins to cough and rushes back to the kitchen, rinsing out the glass and filling her glass with tap water. She starts chugging this as well and hastily wipes her mouth. The look on her face is a mixture of bewilderment and anger.
Fucking whiskey.
She walks to her couch and sits, glass still in her hand. She pulls out her phone and notices she has some voicemails, supposedly left while she was still in flight. She plays them. She sets the glass on her coffee table. Kat closes her eyes and sits back.
You have 3 new messages. First message sent July 26th at 4:47 p.m.
Hey, Kat, I know you're probably still in the air right now. I just wanted to, check in, see how the flight was, how everything went. Haven't heard from you in a week, which I totally get, and I wouldn't expect to. I mean, I understand. Well, no, that's not what I meant. I don't understand, but I understand why you wouldn't want to talk to me, or anyone for that matter. No, that also did not come out right. I'm sorry. I should just delete this voicemail and start over.
End of message. Second message sent July 26th at 4:50 p.m.
I meant to delete that last message, but I sent it anyway, so here we are at message number 2. And this one is starting off stellar too. Just, hey, if you get these and if you want to, I don't know, hang out later or even just give me a call, help take your mind off. No, that's not what I meant to say either. God, this is all word vomit. I'm sorry, Kat. I'm just gonna go now.
End of message. Third message sent July 26th at 5:13 p.m.
What is heard is just a lot of muffled sounds, but a song can be heard playing in the background as well. It's Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. We can hear the muffled voices of Ben start singing along with bits and pieces. Kat sits up and opens her eyes, looking at her phone. The shuffling noises on the phone suddenly get louder, and then the song can be heard a lot clearer as the phone is brought out of the caller's pocket.
Oh, jeez, you have to be kidding me. Am I really hitting it out of the park with these voicemails today? Sorry, Kat.
End of messages.
Kat shakes her head and looks back at her empty whiskey glass. She picks up the phone, dials, and places it to her ear.
Kat?
Let's grab a drink.
Sure. Meet me at Santino's in half an hour.
Perfect.
Okay, see you then.
Kat hangs up the phone and sinks back into her couch again, closing her eyes. Lights go to black. Lights off on a very dimly lit dive bar. Ben is sitting at a small table. There are a few people at the bar. One bartender is behind the bar serving customers and intermittently washing glasses. Some music plays in the background. Kat walks in and Ben waves her over.
Hey.
Hey.
How was your trip back?
You mean the flight?
Yeah.
You can talk about flying, Ben. It's not suddenly off limits. It was fine. Especially after the Xanax kicked in. Speaking of downers, I need a drink.
Kat gets up and walks to the bar. Ben watches as she does this. It doesn't take long for the bartender to come over. The bartender turns to the liquor shelf and pulls off a bottom shelf cheap bottle of whiskey and pours half a glass, hands it to Kat, and she walks back over and sits down.
Well, the hard stuff, huh? Let me smell that. Oh, God, that is some cheap stuff.
It's good enough.
Since when are you into whiskey?
Since when are you the police?
Okay, then. But seriously, have you always been into a closet whiskey drinker and just never shown this side of yourself?
It's not my first drink of choice, but there were a couple of leftover bottles at her apartment. Helped get me through cleaning and boxing up stuff most days.
Can't imagine.
Oh, it took less time than I originally thought. The cleaning and the packing, I mean. As for the airline, the investigation isn't even closed yet. How long does it take to clean up after an airline accident? Who fucking knows? All the little pieces, human or otherwise? Who knows when that'll be done? Weeks? Months? It's a thought that nags at me and wakes me up randomly in the middle of the night.
Jesus, Kat, I'm sorry.
It's not your job to apologize. It's no one's job to apologize. I never realized how completely frustrating it is to hear "I'm sorry for your loss" until I've heard it no less than 100 times over the past month.
Well, that's understandable. I guess it's one of those you don't know until you experience it yourself kind of thing.
Right. Anyway, I ran out of PTO. I suppose it's good I had enough for a month. I guess that's what happens when you don't have a social life. But, you know, cleaning out all of your dead sister's belongings from her apartment 3,000 miles away is the perfect getaway for someone like me.
Kat, I don't know what else to say here except that I'm here.
I need another one of these. Want anything?
No, I'm good for now.
Kat again goes to the bar and comes back pretty quickly with another half-full glass. She takes a big swing as she sits.
Easy there, tough guy. At this rate, you're destined for a hangover.
I'm fine.
I just think that maybe you should...
Think what? That I'm going a little too hard?
Well, no. Yes, I don't know, maybe. Look, maybe this isn't the best night for this. Maybe you should take a few days and settle back in. I mean, we can hang out later in the week or
I don't know
next...
what you mean by settle back in. I'm fine then, really.
I just meant that you haven't been home for a while, so...
Yeah, haven't been home for a while because I was cleaning my dead sister's apartment out after the universe decided to offer in the most 1 in a million fucking random way.
Kat is breathing heavy with anger in her eyes. The bar has become quiet as patrons are looking at her with mixed reactions of shock and horror, then helplessly glances at the staring faces and back at her.
I don't know what to say right now, Kat.
You're right. Maybe I need to settle back in. I'm gonna go wait for a cab.
Wait, Kat.
She keeps walking as Ben stares after her in bewilderment. Ben throws some bills down on the table as he grabs his jacket and follows her out. Lights out. Lights up on Kat's apartment. She is laid haphazardly on the couch. She is snoring loudly. There is a knock at her door. Kat doesn't stir. There is another knock a few minutes later.
Catherine, are you home?
Kat slowly blinks her eyes and picks her head up, quickly putting her palm to her head and making an audible noise as her head is pounding. There is another longer knock at the door.
Cat, dear!
I'm coming, just hold on a second. Hi, Mrs. Dietz.
Kat moves in as Nora steps in. Nora gives her a warm, sympathetic smile.
Just Nora, dear. I just hadn't heard from you since you left. Not that you'd have any reason to call me or anything, but I just worry about you, you know. I thought about you often while you were gone. I am glad to see that you are home all right.
Kat sways a bit and grabs onto Nora's shoulder.
Or maybe not. Are you okay, Shvilla?
I just need to sit.
Oh, well, I think I can see, or rather smell, what's going on here. Oh, honey, you smell like a distillery.
I know.
You need water, my dear? I'll go get you some.
I appreciate this, Mrs. Nora. Really, I do. But can you please, for the love of God, stop banging those cabinets?
I found them!
You're
Now, you drink up before your veins start dispensing malt liquor.
You're hilarious. Thank you, by the way.
Of course, dear. Ah, it's It's surprisingly clean in here.
Yeah, well, I haven't been home long enough to mess it up. Still clean from that night before. Was there something else you needed, Nora?
Oh, well, no. Well, I just thought I'd check on you. You know, I'm good at listening if you ever wanted to, talk. Okay. I'm no shriek and I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I do know that trying to deal with things on your own isn't always the best option. Take that for what it's worth. I am literally 10 feet away.
Maybe, Nora. For now, I need to lay down again.
Oh, my. I hope you don't have to go back to work tomorrow. You might still be sweating this out.
God, I hope not. No, Monday is the day.
Well, all right, dear. Well, if you need me, you just come knock on my door.
Yeah. Sounds great. Can you close the door on your way out?
Of course.
Kat lays back with her eyes closed on the couch. Nora gives a worried look at Kat and lingers before closing the door behind her. Lights out. Lights up on Kat's place of work. She is sitting at her desk with a resigned look on her face. She sighs heavily.
You can do this. It's fine. Same old routine. Here we go.
She starts typing on her keyboard. Outside her office, William Brady is walking through with a cup of coffee. He spots her and walks over, knocking on her door. Kat snaps her head up.
Hi, Miss Summerfeld. Remember me?
Yes. William, right?
That's right.
Why are you here? Not that you shouldn't be here. I thought the internship program wasn't starting for a few more weeks.
Oh, I don't know about that, but all I could say is I got a call and now I'm here. Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry, Miss Summerfeld.
It's fine.
I'll grab some napkins.
Cheryl?
Miss Summerfeld, sorry to just pop in. I should have thought about leaving you a summary of the changes we've had while you've been out.
Changes?
Yes, well, obviously, number one being that the internship program started early.
I see that.
Yes, well, about that, there was a company-wide memo sent out.
Cheryl, I have hundreds of emails I've yet to sort through. Just give me the clip notes, please.
Perhaps I should go.
Well, the company hired regional HR directors. I'm sure you'll meet him today. His office happens to be at our location on this floor, just down the hall.
What aren't you telling me?
They're streamlining. And as part of that, I'm being forced to quit. My last day is Friday.
What the hell does that mean for me?
I don't know.
A man appears in the background, carrying a stack of papers. He sees the gathering in Kat's office and makes his way over. Cheryl turns and sees him, backing up next to William so he can enter.
Miss Smithfield.
Ms. Summerfeld?
Yes, right. Greg Smothers, your new boss. I understand you're just back after quite a long leave. I hope you're ready to hit the ground running again.
Of course.
Great. I need you to go through this data. Choose 10 people to eliminate from payroll by the end of today. I expect a summary on my desk by 4 p.m. I'm getting out of here early for a beautiful evening on my yacht. Well, I'll let you get to it.
He turns and nods at William and swiftly exits. There is a pregnant pause. Kat looks bewildered. Cheryl tugs at William's arm and nods toward the door.
We'll leave you to it, Miss Summerfeld, if you need any help.
I need to get the fuck out of here.
She swiftly gets up to leave and runs out her door and off stage. Cheryl stands and makes to pursue, but lets her go off alone. Lights to black. Location is at a back stairwell of Kat's office building. She is pacing and starting to hyperventilate.
mistake. Coming back here today was a fucking mistake. Does the universe hate me? Claire, what am I doing? I need to call Ben.
Kat dials on her phone shakily, then holds the phone up to her ear. She rolls her eyes in frustration as it goes to voicemail.
I'm not here. Leave it at the beep.
Ben, listen, I know we left things on a bad note the other night. I'm sorry. I'm just not in a good place right now. I rushed to coming back here and getting back to work so soon. Like, this fucking sucks. I'm not ready for any of this yet. I'm not ready to go back to life without Claire.
Kat starts to cry and leans back against the wall of the stairwell. She sinks down to the floor.
She's just gone. Forever.
She is sobbing almost to the point of hyperventilating. The tears and sobs suddenly stop.
I have to get out of here.
Just then, the door of the stairwell bursts open as a man, Peter Hemsworth, appears, back turned.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Just running something upstairs.
Kat peacefully wipes her eyes and hangs up her phone. She stands up just as Peter enters the stairwell.
Hello. Oh, Miss Summerfeld, right?
Yes,
Peter Hemsworth. You're on the same floor as Director Stevens, right?
I am. Yes.
Great. Do you think you could do me this little favor? That is, if you're running back up there.
Sure, yes.
Can you take this file up to him? I'd normally just email him. I'm having issues with my email. Needs it today, of course.
Of course.
Are you feeling okay, Miss Summerfeld?
Why do you ask?
I'm just curious. I have seasonal allergies too. Horrid this time of year. If you forgot your antihistamines, I'm sure there's one laying around here somewhere. Or something stronger. Well, anyway, thank you. Perhaps we'll see each other around?
Kat opens the folder and she scans the document in the file.
Ultravan. Memory-altering drug, phase 1 trial. 29 confirmed participants to be 30 total. Last candidate dropped due to testing positive for methamphetamines.
She scans more.
Suitable candidates, those diagnosed with PTSD, survivors of traumatic events, veterans who have seen combat, those who have otherwise experienced a debilitating, life-changing tragedy.
Kat steels herself. She shuts the folder quickly.
What am I doing? This is confidential. Testing the effectiveness and potential side effects of drug in isolation and removal of specific memory groups. Could I forget?
She nods slowly with decisiveness. She turns and heads through the door that Peter just exited through. Lights out. Peter's office. He is at his desk sipping a coffee, looking at his computer. Kat bursts in and shuts the door.
Miss Summerfeld?
I want to participate in this trial.
That's confidential information. I would have expected someone in your position not to open that file.
Yes, but you don't understand.
I understand that I shouldn't have put my trust in you to deliver it where it needed to go.
No, I understand completely that I shouldn't have opened the file.
And yet you are admitting as much to me. I'm going to have to document this.
Please. Please. I have to do this. I have to be a part of this.
First of all, it's a conflict of interest.
I'll take a leave of absence then.
You don't understand. No employee in this company is allowed to participate in any of the trials. It's a conflict of interest. Period. In order to participate in this trial, you'd have to no longer be working here.
Then I'll resign my position.
Look, I don't know much about you, Miss Summerfeld, but I don't think that is worth throwing away your career. Now, I can pretend the last 3 minutes didn't happen. We'll chalk it up to a bad day. Neither you nor I will have to speak about it again. But you need to leave my office before I change my mind.
The last 30 days have been the most utterly confusing, mind-numbing, hellish days of my life. I not only lost my only living close relative, I don't even have the ability to give her a proper burial because the airline disaster recovery crew is still sorting through parts. And for all I know, I may never be able to do that. Do you know what it's like to experience that kind of tragedy? The kind that you can't properly reconcile because, for all intents and purposes, the person you were mourning fucking vanished. Just 1 minute alive and breathing and laughing, and the next... I don't have to justify to you why I want to do this trial or why it would be worth losing this job over. I need this. I just need this.
If you're going to participate, you're going to have to resign your position. There's
Okay.
just no way around that.
Okay.
You're going to have to get a physical first to make sure you're even a viable candidate.
Why?
Look, Miss Sommerfeld. Kat, I can't imagine what you've gone through. I just hope you find the solution you're looking for. Fill this out. You'll need to get the physical as soon as possible. As for your resignation, same deal. Fortunately, the intended start date for this trial is 3 weeks from now.
Thank you.
Peter nods to her. She nods back and exits. Lights out.
I once knew a man who would sit and cry on the curb down the street as the days crept by. He didn't speak a word, so I never knew why. He would sit for hours and cry and cry. One day he was gone and I looked all around, but the crying man was nowhere to be found. I hoped that the reason the poor man had gone was that his reasons for crying were finally done.
Lights up on a room at a medical testing facility. Kat is wearing a medical gown and has various monitors hooked up to her. There are 2 medical professionals in the room. One is placing some electrodes and various monitors onto Kat. The other is writing down numbers on a medical chart.
Okay, last monitor being attached now.
Everything at a medical office is always so cold.
Sorry, we're not Cedar-Sinai.
Please lie back, careful not to bump or move any of the electrodes, and especially the IV.
In just a moment, I'm going to push a small dose of the drug intravenously. You should feel the effects start to happen within the first 30 to 45 seconds. We will be monitoring you closely. At any sign of serious distress, we will medically pull you out of the drug-induced session. As per the contract, I'm required to ask if you wish to proceed before each session begins.
I'm ready. I want to proceed.
Okay, feel free to close your eyes.
Beginning push now.
Kat adjusts slightly on the table. The beeping of machines is heard and the tick of a clock. The professionals continue to walk around, writing down numbers and monitoring the machines. An inner monologue is heard as the seconds tick by.
What the hell am I doing? Has it really come to this? You thought this was your best solution? Unbelievable. Just another destructive choice in your unending cycle.
The scene suddenly starts to swirl with color, alternating between blues, purples, and almost blackout.
I had no other choice. This was my only choice. I'm sorry, Claire.
The medical professionals exit the stage as Claire enters and sits in a beanbag chair across the stage from Kat. There is an easel close to Claire, which is turned away from Kat. There is a painting on the easel.
This feels very weird.
It's finished.
What did you say?
It's finished. I finished the painting I've been working on for a few weeks. I call it California Morning.
Claire moves the easel with the painting to show Kat. Kat looks around the room and then looks at the painting, then back to Claire.
Well, give me your worst. I can take it.
Claire, can you hear me? Are you really there?
I'm serious. You won't hurt my feelings. I know the art world is tough. I need a tough critic to help me get used to it.
This must be a memory. It would only make sense, but when was this?
Cat, got your tongue? Since when do you hold back your opinions with me?
This is when we lived in the apartment together.
Damn, sis, you didn't have to be that harsh. I get you every time with that.
She always had a way of drawing out the honest side of me.
You're right, though. I rushed the last portion, and it doesn't flow like it should.
not even getting defensive. Claire was always so much better at taking criticism than me, and she always wanted my opinion.
I'm hoping to save up enough in the next 3 months to get into art school, and then our dreams will be set, Kat. I know I can be successful, and you can be right there to help me.
I didn't even have a plan for my life back then. I was going to follow Claire wherever she went.
Claire suddenly starts to twitch.
Wait, what's happening?
Snippets can be heard as Claire backtracks through her movements.
Our dreams will be set, Kat. Dreams will be set. Dreams. Dreams.
Claire, what is this?
Claire continues to twitch as she replaces the painting on the easel and stops, staring directly at Kat with her mouth open.
She was just talking about something. What was she talking about? Where did it go? Claire was talking about.
You'll go with me, right, Kat?
She was literally just talking about something. Our plans for. It's blank. I try to think of it. It's like a cloud of smoke that billows away.
It's what you want too, right, kitty cat?
More than anything.
This is what you want.
Stop. Stop it. No, I want this to be gone. That's what I want. I need this to be gone.
You'll go with me, right?
Claire turns suddenly and disappears off stage. The lights are almost completely blacked out as the two medical professionals come back to the same places prior to exiting.
Claire.
The light suddenly comes back on. Kat lays back in bed with eyes closed. She begins to stir.
Claire?
She's waking up.
Miss, are you doing okay? How are you feeling?
I'm okay. How long was I out?
About 10 minutes. Here, take this cup. You need to hydrate directly after waking up.
I am now required to ask you a series of questions immediately. Please answer honestly and as thoroughly as you are able. The first is, what did you experience immediately after going under?
I experienced a memory from several years ago. Claire was there, and she was, I can't remember. It was literally just happening again in my mind, but I can't recall it.
Can you remember any objects that were in the room where the memory took place?
I don't think so. Wait. Yes, an easel. Right, Claire loved to paint. She must have been painting, but I can't remember what.
Did the subject in your memory say anything of note to you?
She asked me to go with her.
Do you recall where the subject asked you to go?
I don't. That's all I can remember.
Kat stares at the wall ahead. Her expression changes to a small, triumphant smile.
The rest is gone.
Lights fade to black. Lights up on Kat's apartment. She is rushing around cleaning things, checking the clock frantically. There is a knock at the door.
Just a second.
Kat walks to open the door and opens it. Ben walks in and holds up some bags.
I brought lo mein from Little China.
Oh, I love that place. I haven't had their takeout in ages.
You seem to be in a good mood.
Yes, well, things are starting to look up.
I'm glad. I guess the extended break from work has really helped, huh?
Definitely.
She grabs some napkins from her kitchen and some forks and brings them back out to the living room table.
Oh, no. A fork? No way. Nope. You've got to use chopsticks.
It's not that I don't like to use chopsticks, but a fork is way easier.
And?
And I don't feel like creating too much work for myself.
Suit yourself. But I'm using chopsticks.
If you spill, you're cleaning it up.
It's good to see you smile. Did I ruin it? I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've seen a genuine smile from you. Did you start yoga or something? It's not more whiskey, is it?
No. No, I've hopped off the whiskey train for now. I'm just finally starting to move on.
Has the airline sent you anything else regarding the accident?
The accident? Right, the crash. No, nothing else.
Okay. Are you sure you're not on something?
I'm not on anything then.
Okay, I mean, that was just a little weird.
I don't know what you mean. Maybe it's just a side effect of the healing process. I'm finally starting to feel some semblance of happiness again. Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I just overreacting.
Ben, I'm fine.
I just worry about you, Kat. I've been thinking about...
At that moment, there is a knock on the door.
Cat!
Who the hell is that?
It's Nora. I'm sure of it.
Your neighbor?
There is another loud knock at the door.
Cat! Are you home, dear?
Kat motions for them to stay quiet. She gets up and quickly heads to the door.
Coming, Nora.
Kat opens the door a crack.
Oh, Cat, darling, I made way too much matzo ball soup. Now, do you want me to bring some over for you?
Oh, that's kind of you, Nora, but no.
Nora pushes the door in slightly, taking a quick look around. She spots Ben.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I didn't realize you had a gentleman caller.
Nora makes no effort to move away. She just looks intently from Ben to Kat. Kat relents and opens the door for Nora to walk in.
Nora, this is Ben. He's a good friend.
Well, so this is the Ben.
Oh, yes, am I infamous?
Oh, no, dear. Cat's always said nice things.
Well, good. It's a pleasure to meet you, Nora.
Oh, this guy, the pleasure is mine.
Yes, well, now that you've met one another,
All right. Oh, right. Well, I'll get out of your hair. Have fun.
Nora slowly shuffles out the door, smiling the whole way and waving to Ben. Ben waves half awkwardly back to her. Kat goes to close the door as Ben sits down. Nora pokes her head back in briefly to whisper.
You should keep him around.
well, now you've met Nora.
She seems lovely.
She's friendly enough. She's a little overbearing.
She's probably lonely.
I know. She's sweet, really. I just don't have much patience.
Surprising.
You know, she was with me the night that she was there for me. Speaking of which, thank you for not abandoning me after that embarrassing night at the bar.
Why would I abandon you? In all seriousness, you have got to do something pretty awful to make me want to abandon you.
Kat smiles and looks down. She looks back up and looks into Ben's eyes for a moment. He just looks back at her, staring into her eyes with sincerity and longing. He shakes it off.
Might need to microwave our Chinese now.
It's warm enough. Come on, let's finally get movie night started.
Sure thing, boss.
Lights out. Ben's office. He is sitting at his desk with his head down on the table, asleep. There is a knock at his door. Ben stirs. There is another knock at his door, and it proceeds to open.
Mr. Worthington, you're... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, shit, sorry. I was just taking a little nap during my lunch.
Right. I'm so sorry. An urgent message, though. Your mother called into the main desk number.
Mom? Is she all right?
I'm not sure. She wouldn't say. Just kept asking for Benny. You.
Ben looks at his phone and sees 4 missed calls.
Oh, Mom.
He looks up, bewildered at the person in his office.
Thank you for letting me know.
Of course.
The office worker ducks quickly out the door, shutting it behind them. As soon as the door shuts, Ben dials on his cell phone.
What now, Mom?
The phone rings a few times.
Hello?
Mom! God, you scared the crap out of me. Is everything okay?
Benny? Hi, Benny, honey. I just wanted to make sure you remembered we're having a potluck with the Petermans tonight. Wear your Sunday best.
The Petermans?
Yes, Judy and Cliff, the next door neighbors. Don't act like you don't know who I'm talking about.
Mom, we don't live near them anymore. They moved to Nebraska 10 years ago.
Now, don't play jokes with me. You know I don't like joking like that.
I'm not joking, Mom. We don't live near the Petermans anymore.
You're being rather rude, Benny. If you're trying to get out of the potluck, that's not going to work.
Mom, I'm not trying to
Who
get...
could? So then you'll be ready to go at 6.
Yeah, yes, Mom, I'll be ready to go.
Okay, sweetie. Now get back to your studies. I'll see you this evening.
Okay, Mom, please don't leave the house until I get there, okay?
Okay, honey.
Mom,
What, Benny?
I love you.
Love you too, sweetie.
The phone disconnects. Ben leans back in his chair and stares up at the ceiling. Lights out. Lights up on a room at a medical testing facility. Kat is wearing a medical gown and has various monitors hooked up to her. She is looking all around. The 2 medical professionals walk in.
You've made it to the 4th session. That means we're halfway through.
Yes, thank you.
Since your last session, have you experienced any abnormal side effects?
No, I've been feeling great. Better than I have in months, maybe years.
Anything else of note?
No, honestly, it's been surprisingly okay. I feel like I'm getting back on track.
Okay, scoot back just a little bit for me. In just a moment, I will administer the drug. As per the contract, I'm required to ask if you wish to proceed before each session begins.
Without a doubt, yes.
Again, we will be monitoring everything on the outside. If we notice any serious signs of distress, we will pull you out.
I understand.
Okay. Pushing now.
You know you lied. Everything hasn't been okay since your last session. You started forgetting things aside from your sister. You won't be able to hide the effects much longer.
The scene suddenly swirls with color, alternating between blues, purples, and almost blackout.
You handle it. I need this. It's the only way.
The medical professionals exit the stage as Claire appears on the opposite side. She is younger and wearing a swimsuit with a towel around her waist.
Where are we?
Come on, Kat, the lake's over there.
The lake. Mom and Dad should be here somewhere.
Mom walked to the general store to get marshmallows to roast later. Let's swim before she gets back.
Where's Dad?
No, Dad didn't go with her. He went fishing, remember? He's probably down at the lake too.
Right. The fish hook incident.
I want to swim as much as I can before we go home in a couple of days.
Claire always wore that yellow swimsuit. It brought out her peachy complexion.
Yeah, we're going home Sunday. So come on, or else we can't until next summer.
My sister was always a natural beauty. She never had to try hard.
You did remember to put on your suit, right?
This was probably the happiest time we've ever had, her and I. All 4 of us.
Silly cat. Well, go back and get your swimsuit on then. Hurry!
We were so innocent. So naive.
Fine, I'll come with you.
Just a short while before our lives changed forever. Mom and Dad.
Don't forget to close the door when you come out. We don't want any more bees like yesterday.
Before Mom and Dad. Why can't I think of what happens next?
Hurry up, you're taking too long.
Mom and Dad left us.
Come on, Kat, it's time to come back out.
No. No, you're not supposed to forget Mom and Dad. Just Claire.
You think you have control, but you don't, Kat.
Why can't I remember what happened to them? They left us forever.
This is only going to get worse. And you wanted this, remember? Remember that?
No. I didn't want this. I didn't think it would be like this.
Of course you didn't think, baby sis. You wanted a quick fix. Cover up. And now I'm halfway gone. But that's not all that's gone.
No. No, Claire, I'm sorry. I just wanted to stop hurting.
Well, congratulations, Kat. You fucked it all up.
Mom and Dad and Claire left me, and I don't know why or how or why I'm forgetting. I don't want to be alone anymore. I don't want to feel like this anymore.
Wake up, Kat.
I don't remember anymore. I don't know what I'm doing.
Wake the fuck up, Kat.
The room starts to spin again with blue, purple, and black as Claire disappears from view. The med professionals come back into the room. Kat lays back in bed with eyes closed but breathing very fast. She suddenly springs up on the verge of hyperventilation.
Miss, can you hear me? Miss, just breathe slowly. We need some oxygen now.
Just breathe, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay.
Lights suddenly black out. The hospital. Kat is in a bed toward one side of the stage, laying back in bed with an oxygen mask on. There is a desk on the other side of the stage with a nurse behind it. Ben enters frantically. He goes to the desk.
Sommerfeld. Kat Sommerfeld.
Down the hall, first grade.
Thank you. Oh my God, Kat!
Ben?
Jesus, you scared the hell out of me, Kat. Are you okay? What happened?
Ben,
I'm here.
I messed up.
What happened?
It's foggy.
Kat, look at me. Kat, open your eyes and look at me.
I thought I could handle it on my
Shh,
own.
it's okay, it's okay. It's gonna be okay.
No, it's not. Ben, I haven't been telling you the truth.
What do you mean?
No.
Have you been drinking more? Did you start taking pills?
No. I've been doing a drug trial. I quit at work so I could do a drug trial to help me forget.
Forget what, exactly?
I don't want to be in pain anymore.
Oh, Kat, don't tell me.
I thought forgetting her would make it better, but I'm starting to forget other things too.
Kat, why would you do this? How could you think that this was the best solution?
I don't know. It was helping in the beginning. I started feeling better. You saw it. You saw how happy I was starting to become.
By what, erasing Claire? What did you think was going to happen next? Eventually someone would have noticed. What would you have done then?
I thought you would support me.
You know that's not fair to say. I have supported you through hundreds of decisions, good and bad, but this? This is way far beyond anything that I could imagine you doing. Here's some harsh reality for you, Kat. Some people don't have any control over what memories they lose and which ones they don't. Yesterday, I was with Mom trying to explain why I no longer look like a 16-year-old boy and why I don't live at home any longer and why our neighbors who moved 10 fucking years ago aren't going to be around for the potluck. Do you have any idea how absolutely fucking terrifying that was? And the hardest part is knowing that it's only going to get worse from here. The only thing that you should be sorry about is taking the easy way out. Other people confront their pain head on and learn how to adapt.
This has not been the easy way out.
Obviously. And my biggest question in all of this is, how do you think Claire would feel if she knew that you were trying
I
to...
didn't even finish that sentence.
I need some space to think.
Ben, please.
Kat, I really don't want to keep talking about this. I can't stay here.
Lights out.
What does one do when all hope seems lost? You pay for an answer no matter the cost. But the answer is vague, the compass is cracked. The possible paths only meant to distract. Maybe the answer is back where you began, and this journey you took was all part of the plan. So back to the beginning to make a new start. A map, a blank canvas, for you to chart.
Lights up on a subway car. There are a few other people already in the subway car. Kat walks on and looks around for a moment, selecting a seat away from the other passengers. She rubs the medical bracelet on her arm and hides it up her sleeve coat.
Stand clear of the doors.
As this is said, a man hops into the car at the last second, breathless. It is William Brady. He also looks around before spotting Kat.
Miss Sommerfeld?
William.
How crazy to run into you.
Yeah, crazy. Just call me Kat, okay?
Okay, I'll try to remember that. I was sad to hear you resigned. Hopefully you've moved on to bigger and better things.
Trying to.
What brings you to this side of town?
Nothing glamorous, I assure you.
Oh, I'm sorry, I won't pry.
It's okay. How are things back at the office?
A little crazy, actually. You know that HR director guy, Greg?
Unfortunately, yes.
Someone anonymously came forward and accused him of stealing from his former company. There was an investigation. It was all over the news. His office was empty the next day the story came out.
Wow.
Yeah, they have an interim HR director in now, but it's just hectic. There's been some murmurs around the office. People wishing you'd come back.
No,
You think you'd ever entertain that idea?
I don't know. Maybe? I'm not quite sure where I'm supposed to go from here. Where are you heading? Shouldn't you be at work?
Actually, I took a personal day. My brother wrote a short film for one of his classes, and he's filming on the Upper East Side. I volunteered to be an extra.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it should be. He's been super busy with school. He comes home late a lot. We haven't had a lot of time to hang out. Not like I thought, anyway.
I understand.
I just feel like it's going to get more and more like this as we get older. We're heading down drastically different paths.
William, I'm going to tell you something that I wish someone else would have told me a long time ago. Never take a single moment with your brother for granted. No matter where your paths go or how many miles there are between you, savor every moment. Just don't take these things for granted. Years from now, you're going to find yourself in a coffee shop, or maybe in your office, or maybe sitting on your couch at home, and you're going to smile to yourself as you think of this day.
Try to remember that.
Next stop, 77th Street Station.
Oh, that's my stop. I hope to see you around again someday, Kat. Good luck figuring out your next step.
Thank you.
William gives her a hopeful smile and exits. Kat has the faintest smile. Lights out. Kat is outside walking the streets near her apartment. She is wearing a jacket and a scarf. It's a chilly fall night. She stops to look up, presumably at the stars. Other people walk past, paying her no attention.
Claire, I'm sorry. I miss you like hell. I just love you so much. Please forgive me.
She stands for a while with her face to the stars and her eyes closed. Her phone starts to ring. She reaches into her pocket and looks at it. It's Ben. Kat opens her phone. Ben appears on the side of the stage in a spotlight. As this conversation happens, Ben and Kat move closer to another.
Ben?
Kat, I've been doing a lot of thinking over the past few days.
Ben,
Please, Kat, I need to say some things before I bottle him up. I tried putting myself in your shoes. I tried to rationalize a decision like the one that you made, and I really tried to consider all of the catalysts that led to, well, what you did. And I just couldn't.
Ben, please.
I just started thinking about the people that are closest to me. Mom, you. And I just kept thinking that I'd never want to forget anything that's happened with you. Not even one single moment. So I just can't agree with what you're doing. I just think that there has to be a better way, something that won't hurt you like this.
Ben,
I didn't know much about Claire, but she meant everything to you, and you
Ben.
just...
I know. That's why I'm going to stop.
What?
I never realized until just recently how much I've tried to hold on to, even the smallest feeling of control. It started even long before I lost Claire. My inability to give up control backfired completely, and I almost lost everything. I've been completely shitty.
Kat.
I'm serious. I've been the worst person. For a long time, I've been so self-absorbed and a terrible friend. I'm sorry about your mom. You're truly a wonderful human to stay by her side through it all.
Thank you. I'm sorry I left yesterday.
You have nothing to apologize for. Honestly, I needed the wake-up call.
So what now?
I don't know exactly. For once in my life, I don't know my next move. But I do know it's time for me to start facing everything that's happened.
Kat is near center stage, facing away from center stage. Ben is behind her in center stage, and he hangs up his phone.
Maybe you could start by turning around.
She closes her phone and slowly turns to face Ben, a smile growing on her face. She rushes into Ben's arms and sinks into a hug. After lingering a few moments, she pulls away. Ben kisses her forehead. Kat looks up surprised and then smiles and shakes her head, giving Ben a kiss.
That a long time ago.
I think now is the perfect moment.
She takes his hand, and they slowly walk together off stage. Lights out. Kat's apartment. It is empty with the lights off. There is the sound of keys scraping in the lock. The door opens and Kat is holding a box and some other mail. She is also on the phone.
Yeah, it's from the airline. There's actually an envelope from the airline here too. Yeah, I'm gonna open them here in a moment. No, I'll be okay. Maybe you can come by a little later? I'll order some Chinese from that place down the block. Perfect. Bye, Ben.
Kat hangs up the phone and sets the mail down on her coffee table. She stares at it a moment before getting up and looking for something sharp. She goes into her kitchen and grabs a steak knife and comes back to the box. She carefully opens it. She stares into it for a moment. A spotlight slowly comes up on the side of the stage. Claire appears and brings out her artist's stool, setting it down in the spotlight and sitting on it. Kat slowly starts pulling out the items in the box. Kat pulls out a luggage tag.
Funny story about how I obtained that luggage tag. I was at a mixer on New Year's last year and ended up passed out in the owner of the condo's bed. Oops! A whole bottle of rosé might not have been the wise choice. YOLO? Anyway, I woke up at like 4 a.m. and the party was still going on. Me, in all of my drunken wisdom, saw that luggage tag hanging off the Louis Vuitton suitcase and I snatched it. A small memento of the occasion.
Kat pulls out a charred camisole.
I went on a date with a barista last summer, and that was not the first time that I wore that camisole. Do you see that tiny stain on the lower hem? Probably not. I did everything in my power to get that stain out. No way I was letting that gorgeous piece fall victim to a double soy latte with extra foam. It's the most iconic staple in my wardrobe.
Kat pulls out a bottle of perfume.
The first summer I moved to California, I had absolutely no money. I always admired that you were the sensible one, heading off on your career path. I just wanted freedom. Finally, when I scraped together enough money for my first few gigs, I bought that bottle of perfume. Crazy how it lasted so long, right? The saying rings true. A little goes a long way.
Kat pulls out a picture.
Remember that time you, me, Mom, and Dad went to that lake upstate? We were pretty young. I think you were maybe 7? Dad rented a boat and a tube, and we spent the whole day out on the lake tubing and getting sunburnt, and Mom bought marshmallows for s'mores, and they all melted into that giant mass because she left them in the window of that Winnebago. That was a fun vacation. I thought you'd like to have this picture.
Kat looks at the picture and starts to tear up. She pulls the picture close and holds it to her heart, eyes closed, as tears flow down her face. Kat erupts into sobs. The light on Claire fades, and there is a knock at Kat's door. Kat is startled. She takes a few deep breaths and wipes her eyes. There's another knock.
Coming.
Kat places the picture beside the other items on her table. She opens the door. It's Nora.
Nora.
Kat, are you okay? You weren't home for a while.
Yeah, I'm okay. Well, I'm going to be okay, I think.
Oh, my. Do you want to talk about it?
Actually, that's nice of you to offer.
Well, looks like you've been cleaning some more.
It's not quite like that. I got a package from the airline today, the airline Claire was on. And there was an envelope, too.
I see. Do you want me to go? You're welcome to come on later if you want to talk.
No, that's okay. I actually appreciate your company.
Is this your family?
Yes. Mom, Dad, me, and Claire.
You You are a strong woman, Catherine.
Not as much as you think.
Oh, but strength can be fickle. Here one moment and gone the next. No one shows strength and resilience 100% of the time. Just because you have a moment or two of weakness does not mean that you're not strong.
I'm in search of a therapist, but I may just need to hire you.
Oh, dear, I will do it for free. Have you opened that envelope yet?
No. Hadn't yet, but might as well, right? Dear Ms. Sommerfeld, we offer our condolences for the tragic loss of your family member in the accident that occurred on June 26th of this year. As a surviving family member, you are entitled to a settlement in the amount of no less than $145,000. To file a claim for this compensation, please visit the following.
Kat, are you okay?
I didn't expect this at all.
Well, maybe this will help you figure out how to start moving on.
Nora, I've been trying too hard to move on and forget everything that's happened in my life. It's time I start embracing what I've experienced in life and the people I've taken for granted for far too long.
I'm so proud of you.
Are you up for a game of cards?
Well, I thought you'd never ask.
The lights slowly fade as Nora gets up and offers a hand to Kat, who takes her hand and follows her out of the apartment. Claire picks up her stool and carries it off stage. Lights fade to black. The end. So once again, on behalf of Roving Rogue Productions and Katy Borland, our wonderful writer and author of the piece that you just heard, we thank you for coming to this staged reading of Placebo. If you want to see some of the other things that we've done, we have an awesome audio drama out on all of your favorite podcasting systems called Simply to Die For, where you'll hear some of the talent that you've heard today, as well as